sorry. Sorry, but I bought all this stuff just because I'm touring around with it at the moment, so I thought I might as well put it on. I know most of you are going, who the fuck are you? But I just thought, you know, we've got these great swirly things and the music and everything, and I did it, and I just played Iceland about a week ago, and the same, I came on stage and everyone went, who are you? And so that's nice, so that's just cool. But hi, Stockholm, hey. Hey, how the fuck are you? I was here 5 years ago. I played here 5 years ago, yes. And I'm going to come back every 5 years. And it's a good career plan. The career goes, comes back up. No, I'll come back sooner next time. But I spoke a little too fast last time. So if I go too fast, just shout, too fucking fast at me. And I'll slow down. And I also went and visited the Vasa, the warship Vasa that you dug up, which you never look at, do you? You live here, so fuck it. You're not gonna... It's there, it's huge, oh, fuck it, you know. I'll go next week, maybe before I die. You're gonna go to your grave and say, that Vasa, I never saw it. But it was very impressive, but the story is ridiculous. Was it King Gustafsson? King Gustav or something? Gustav II. And he got a designer. He was at war with the Germans or the Polish and said, oh, I want a big fuck-off, big ship. Because I'm a king, I want a huge one that's bigger than everything, big as a tower block. And got a designer, good idea, designer designed it. Then designer dropped dead halfway through building it, apparently. And then he came along and said, I'll design it. But more, higher, huge fucking thing. Very thin like this. Not good, is it? It's more like a windscreen wiper. And the admirals, because I know all the history, you probably don't know this, but the admirals knew this, because the admirals were going, the king's fucking design. Oh, I'm not going on it. You can go on it. They got sailors to run from one side to the other. I'm not fucking going on this. So they must have got some idiot to be the captain. You know, they couldn't have got a normal captain. Captains went, I'm not going on that. They must have just gone, anyone want to be captain of a warship? Order. Oh, come on in. Here's a big hat for you. Oh, thanks very much. And they must have just, you know, just got there with a bottle of champagne. I named the ship the Vasa. Good luck. You know. And the ship goes, in your harbour. Look, you know, the captain must be great. Look, I'm a captain. Dun, da, 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 da. All of Stockholm must have gone up on the cliffs and be waving. Ah, see the ship, wave the ship. What's going down? Ah, it's gone, hasn't it? Let's go home now, shall we? And the sailors on board must have been still fighting over their bunks, you know, where they were sleeping. Oh, I'm sleeping here. No, you're sleeping here. No, what's this fish doing here? Oh, shit. And when it sunk, the mast stuck out the water for about 10 years or something, 5 years. And then the king said, cut the fuckers off. Middle of the night, someone went, shit, never, no. Visitors to Stockholm harbour. Is there a ship? No ship, no. No, that's the Germans told that story, no. So I'm going to go back and look at it again. Yeah. Anyway, supermarkets is what I really wanted to talk about. I am really into supermarkets. The big, you know, the big ones. Do you have the big ones? We have them in the UK. Hypermarkets, we call them. As big as a village. Do you have these yet? You can get everything there. You can get clothes and shampoo and fruit and elephants, anything you want. And they're the new religious palaces, I think, because in churches the congregation gets smaller. In supermarkets it's huge. And you have rich people and poor people and trendy people, straight people, everyone's there, not knowing what to buy. Or do you buy rubbish? Because I go in with like 4 things to get, and then I start going, oh, hats for cats. Yes, that's complete rubbish you start buying and shoving in. And as soon as you go in, you have stress. You have basket or trolley. Trolley or basket. And the trolleys are chained up and fuck them. So you go basket. Basket's much better. And I go around and I fill it up with 483 million items, and I'm dragging this huge basket round. And halfway round the thing, I'm going, where are the trolleys? Bring me a trolley. But the brilliant thing is you haven't bought it yet, so you can just leave it and say, ah, fuck it. You've just moved it, haven't you? You haven't. You can do it with trolleys. You can fill up 6 trolleys and chain them together and be dragging them round. Get up to the doors and then just leave them and run. That's legal. You can do that. The security people have to go, ah, damn. Just put loads of stuff in. If you're feeling pissed off, go down and just fill them all up. And then leave them there. If you want to. But trolleys are best, really, because they have wheels. And when you're a kid, you have to be very sensible with them. But when you're an adult, you can run and run, 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 run. And then you jump in and you drive. And they come down and they hit someone in the stomach, usually. And then they drop all their shopping into your trolley, and you've got shopping. And if you hit an old lady, you've got hairnets and dog food. That's all they buy. When they get to the age of 82, it's hairnets and dog food. That's all. At a certain age where they start shouting their age, you know, I'm 82. You know, old ladies who go, I'm 82. Yeah, I'm 82. I'm 82 and I can still do this. They do, they shout it. I'm 82, 83. Old men never shout it though, only old ladies. Old men are dead at that age. They got no stamina. Old women, they got stamina, they just keep on going, dun, dun, dun. Men get to 65, 70. Women going, come on, fuck it, dun. The Queen of England, dun, dun, dun. Her mother, dun, dun. Both their husbands are dead. One actually, one mentally. Keep going. The Queen Mother is amazing. She's got replacement hips, artificial arms, a bionic eye. She's Steve Austin, the $6 million man. $6 million Queen. Did you get that program? Oh no, all right, I won't talk about it. Hairnets. Now you know hairnets. These are these net things that old ladies put on their hair for no reason. You take them off in the morning, you have a crisscross pattern on your hair. Say, why, old lady, why the hairnet? They go, oh, because of the hair thieves. Hair thieves, they come in the night. They steal your hair and sell it to small children in Azerbaijan. You're bonkers, aren't you? Yes, I'm bonkers, I'm 82. My grandmother just kept going. My grandmother had about 7 strokes. You know, stroke where there's a thing in the body. She just kept going. My granddad, as soon as my grandmother had 1 stroke, my granddad died. This is true. He did, and he went 2 or 3 days and he was gone. But my grandmother kept going. The Grim Reaper was there going, come on, you're with me. She's going, fuck off. Grim Reaper had to go back. I didn't get him. Just got all the men. All the women won't come. Work on that stuff. Anyway, sorry, Grim Reaper. Yes, so hairnet, okay. And dog food as well. You know dog food for dogs. There was, you know they have different names, different brand names on dog food. There was a dog food in Britain called Mr. Dog. Mr. Dog, for small yapper type dogs, you know? And there was a big advertising campaign saying, buy Mr. Dog for small yapper type dogs, and maybe they'll shut the fuck up. Because they're so bloody noisy, right? So that was the campaign. And then after 1 year, they changed the name from Mr. Dog to Caesar. Now, that's just an image shift. That's really weird in my book. Because Mr. Dog, small dog, okay, you can see the reference there. Mr. Dog, small dog, bushy face. Caesar, Roman leader 2,000 years ago, small dog. What? That's a 3 in the morning kind of decision, isn't it? Let's name a dog food after Roman leaders. Yes. What about Agrippa? No. Caesar. Just bonkers. I doubt Caesar, the Roman leader, I doubt he was there 2,000 years ago going, my name is Caesar. I am the first emperor of Rome. I wear the laurel wreath upon my head. I'm being played by James Mason in the film of the In 2,000 years' time, I shall be remembered as a can of small dog food for small yapper type. So anyway, and also, supermarkets play psychological tricks on you. As you think about this, when you go into the supermarket, you always go into the fresh fruit and vegetables. Always. Everywhere, in Sweden, in Britain, in Iceland, in America, always, so that you think this is a fresh shop. Everything here is fresh. I will do well here. Think about it. You never go into the toilet paper section, do you? You never go straight in with toilet paper and loo brushes, because you would go, this is a poo shop. Everything here is made out of poo. I'm not shopping here. Fruit. Fruit is good for you. It has vitamins. Vitamin A, which we all know is good for... no one seems to know. Vitamin B, which we all know is good for... Vitamin C, which is for scurvy. Now, we all know that one, isn't it? And everyone eats vitamin C as if there's a plague of scurvy just round the corner. Chucking it down. People phoning up, can't come into work. No, I've got scurvy. Yes, yes, well, I live on a warship, you see, and it's called the Vasa, yes, it's wonderful. Vitamin D, which is good for... Vitamin E, which is for skin. We know that. And then no others. Vitamin F doesn't even exist. There must have been a committee there going, vitamin E for skin, well done. Vitamin F, oh, fuck it. Let's go and have a drink, shall we? And different people made fruit. There is a brand of apple called Granny Smith. Do you have Granny Smith? Yeah. Who the fuck was Granny Smith? Who was this old lady? I'm 82. Yes, that's good. Her name is Mrs. Smith. I've made apples out of bread and cardboard and bits of warship I found floating in the beach and an elephant. No, the shopkeeper. No, these apples are terrible. Go away, Mrs. Smith. Go away and don't come back until your daughter has had a baby. You're only Mrs. Smith, aren't you, at the moment? You're only Mother Smith. Oh, right. She goes home, come on, daughter, you must have sex. Have sex for marketing reasons. Daughter has a baby, comes back, hey, I'm Granny Smith now. Granny Smith, hi, come on in. Come on in, you marketing bonanza, you. So Granny Smith and his Mr. Delicious. Je m'appelle Golden, he says. And all the people made apples. And apples are great. I gave up smoking and took up apples. Carrying a packet of 20 around's a bit of a fucker. Carry a briefcase round. But they're tough, aren't they, apples? You grab them and you eat them. Arr, 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 arr. And when you get down to where the pips are, you throw it away before you swallow a pip and a tree comes out your head. We know that. Oranges, but there's a war. You may not know about this. There's a war in the orange area between the old-style, old-fashioned, big, fuck-off oranges. You know, the big, Stalinist oranges. Da, 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 da. And the new baby Satsumas and Manolas and Kumquats and little, get out the way. They're sexy. The new oranges are sexy. To eat them, you just rip their clothes off. You can't do that with an orange, can you? Can I have a bit of your orange, please? Well, do you have a saw or a hammer? You can't get into them. Because inside an orange, it's tight. They hold on to the skin. It's like the German film Das Boot. With Jürgen Prochnow as captain going, hold on to the skin. It is the British with depth charges. Oh, they are breaking in, Captain, they are breaking in. Okay, they're breaking in. Push all the pips into bits they wouldn't expect. They will hate. There's always pips everywhere in Orange. Never try to get off with something. Never try to chat someone up eating an orange. It's like, hi, yeah, So oranges can fuck off. And pears can fuck off too, because pears are ripe for only half an hour. There's a half an hour period where a pear is just right, and the rest of the time they're like a rock or they're mush. In the supermarket, someone's hammering in nails with a pear. Do you want the pear? Oh, give me a minute, I'll just Do you squeeze? I squeeze fruit now. I've seen French chefs do this on television. And they're in the marketplace in the morning and they go, Bonjour Pierre, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Oui. And they squeeze to test. So I squeeze in the supermarket, I squeeze. But I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just squeezing fruit. Occasionally a big melon. No, it's got a hole in it. No, I'm fine. So with pears, what you do is you take them home and you wait for them to ripen. But they don't ripen. Pears just sit in the bowl. They sit there going, no, don't ripen yet. Don't ripen yet. Wait till he's gone out of the house. Ripen now, now, now. And you come back later, you say, I will try those pears now. You see, these pears are dead. These are dead pears. Fucking hell, man. So anyway, fruit is healthy. So you get the fruit, you get a selection of fruit, you take it home, you arrange it in a bowl, and then you watch it all rot. You never eat it. You just sit it there and you come in occasionally go, fruit, Mars bar, Mars. And it just goes blue. Then you chuck it and buy some more. Yes. And supermarkets have queuing as well, 30 or 40 queues. Do you queue in Sweden? Yeah. You do? Do you? You actually form, like the British, we queue as well. We love queue. You don't? You do? Hold on, yeah, some people going yes, there's a fight going on. So you say no, you say yes. So basically you don't queue, but everyone else does. All right, well, we'll just watch out for you then. Okay, I'm gonna test this. Swedish people, do you generally queue? If you do queue, go, right? And if you don't queue, go, Oh, so you do queue, really? There's just about 10 people here who are real fuckheads. Well, in Britain we queue. In Sweden, you seem to queue. Iceland, don't queue. France, they don't queue. Holland, they don't queue. They form an umbrella shape around me. In Britain, we queue when there's nothing to queue for. We will be in a queue going da da da, da da da. Get to the front of the queue and you go, there's nothing here. On the motorway, if you go up British motorways, the cars will all slow down. There'll be a huge traffic jam. We're all queuing. Come on. And then after about 15 minutes, it all just speeds up. Hell! What were we stopping for? They just slow down sometimes to look at a rabbit on the side of the road. Very weird. But we're very good at queuing. We have queue strategy. When you get up with your shopping to where the queues are, everyone has queue strategy going on in their head, where they look at queues and go, which one is the best? Which one? Q4, that's pretty good. And especially if there's two of you. Do you do this? And one of you takes half the shopping and goes one way, and you go the other way? Okay, just me on this, all right? But I'm planning. Go Q4 and Q7, that's pretty fast. You take the bread. You go on 17, I'm on 4. Okay. Keep in touch, keep in touch. Here we go. Okay. Someone has left Q7. I'm on Q7. I'm on Q7. Okay. Oh no, they've got the till stuck. I'm going back on Q4. I've lost 4. I was there. No, I left my aura there. But what you're looking for is the new queue. That's the main thing, the new queue. One where there's no queue at all, and someone starts opening a till up, and you think, my God, that could be But don't be too obvious, otherwise everyone will say, oh, new queue, new queue. Then you have competition. So the best thing is be subtle and then throw everyone. So, oh, look over there, look. There's a badger with a gun. Can you see? He's sailing a warship. Isn't he King Gustav II? New queue, and then you're in. Or if you're not sure, take all your clothes off and tie it in string and leave it there in the queue. No, I'm still there, I'm still there. And you walk all the way over to where the... Are you opening the new queue? Oh, you're not. No, I'm not. I just took my clothes off. No. I don't see why. Depends what you're wearing, of course. Yes. And the machines as well. In the old days, it used to get your groceries, and there was someone there. Their fingers were a blur, weren't they? And you just get a string of numbers at the end, and you go, did I buy all this? 4 battleships? I don't know. Nowadays, it just goes beep, with the barcode. Beep, beep, must be boring. Beep, beep, all day. Beep. The only exciting beep thing that ever happens, beep, is when it goes... It's a barcode. Look, it's a barcode. And the machine's going, no, I'm bored. Look, it's a... I'll read it out to you. Thick one, thin one. Thin one, thick one. 2 thick ones, 1 thin one. Look, don't worry, I'll tap out the 50-digit number that I'll just be a couple of hours. Yes, also we have late night shopping, a new thing in the UK, which I love this. It's called late night shopping in a petrol station. Do you have this, the groceries that come into the petrol stations? Yeah? And is it 24 hours as well? Ah, I love this. But one thing, can you go in to the shop all through the night, or do they close it off and lock the doors? You can go in? Ah, that's different. Because in London, at 3 a.m. in the morning, there's real weird people on so they lock the door, and there's just a grill where you have to talk to someone through this bulletproof glass. And there's just loads of... But at 3 a.m. is when I want to eat chocolate, you see. So I go to the petrol station, or bread, or whatever. And there's a thing there, and you're shouting, because it's soundproof. Going, I want bread. I don't have a car, no. Bread. Oh, what? Fucking bread. You have to shout through the dish bit, don't you? Bread. Oh, right. And they go round, and you go, yeah, bread. No, that's diesel oil. Yes, it spreads lovely. Bread, I want bread. And while you're doing this, a queue is forming behind you. A queue of murderers. Just going on and on and on for miles. And you're going, come on, get the bread. Bread, yeah. And you got to try and give off heavy vibes here so that no one attacks you, you know. And you're going, yeah, bread for my bread gun. What's that? Toilet paper. Okay, that's fine. I'll buy toilet paper. I'll eat that. And then you get it and you go off and the cue says, follow him. He speaks in sentences. No, you must go to him now. I'm going away. Oh, right. Oh, we're murderers, you know. Hello. I'll have a Mars bar, please. Work on the last line of that. And they locked the door because people would go in and steal things. And I got caught stealing things when I was 15. And I got caught stealing makeup for your face. And I could have bought it, but I stole it instead. Because I thought, well, it could have got awkward questions. If I'd gone into the shop, basically if I bought stuff, makeup from the shop, then the guy could say, why you, a boy, buying makeup? You must be a transvestite. Ugh. And I'd have to go, yeah, you must be Sherlock fucking Holmes. How did you work that out? So I thought, no, don't buy it, I'll steal it. Then no one will know except the police and the judiciary system. And they caught me and they took me down, but I got let off with a warning. And the warning was, that lipstick's never going to work with that eyeshadow, is it? And you know how shops are themed? You know, if you wanted some curtains that hang down, you go to a curtain shop, or paint in a paint shop, or the body shop. You have the body shop here, yeah? You want things for your body, you go to the body shop, and there's the body, yeah? And there's a shop in London that I want to talk about, which is just stupid, because it has two things in which do not go together. On one side of the shop, it has guns, and knives, and crossbows, you know, those with the bolts, and horrible weapons, and always some compasses as well. They always have compasses, so that the mad people who buy this stuff can get to where they want to go. Always compasses in there as well. That's one side. On the other side, it has violins and flutes and cellos and musical instruments. They don't go together. Wrong shop. That's two shops, isn't it, really? I mean, do people browse around in there going, excuse me, a submachine gun or a violin? Which is... Wow, submachine gun's much better. Much higher body count with a submachine gun. The violin, you really have to go with the violin. But you can't blow on the submachine gun. There's too many holes. You can't get a good tune out of it. And I learnt an instrument when I was small. I learnt the clarinet. Do you know the clarinet? This wind instrument. And when you're a kid, there's a certain amount of parental pressure to learn the instrument. Your parents say, little Johnny, you shall learn to play the violin. Because I never had the chance when I was a child. And the kid's going, well, you've got the chance now, why don't you learn now? You're old enough, you got some money, why don't you learn now? Dad? They go, well, no, I can't now, I'm an adult, I have to drive cars and watch television. That's the job of an adult, you see. And the small kid's going, but I want to go out and smash things with hammers. I'm a kid, for God's sake. So, well, you can't. Learn a bloody violin, will you? Make me proud. Make me proud so I can hang you out the window and say, look, it's my kid. He plays the violin. And I also, when you're a child and you're playing an instrument, you want to play sexy songs. That's what you really want to play, sexy songs. You want to be able to play songs so that other kids at school are going, hey, he's playing sexy songs. We must all go and dance provocatively in front of him. We will have sex with him as soon as we know how to do it. That was the idea. Get off with everyone. Have sex with the instrument. That's what I thought. And so I went to have lessons, and I said, well, to the clarinet teacher, I said, I'd really like to learn sexy songs, please, Mrs. Bad Crumble. She she says, well, why don't you learn from this book here, A Tune a Day? It's a very sexy songbook. And I said, oh, is it? Oh, really? And try this song here, Snug as a Bug in a Rug. Doesn't sound very sexy, Mrs. Bad Crumple. Well, have a go. So I had to go, na 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 na. It's not very sexy, Mrs. Bad. I made love to this song during the 1418 war, I'll have you know. At what point did you actually orgasm during the song? It's not really, doesn't really kick in for me. It was just dirge, it was terrible. And the clarinet has a piece of wood at the back called a reed, which you have to push with it. It squeaks when you go wrong. And my father was going, stop practicing, it sounds crap. I have bought a hammer. You can borrow it if you wish. I was upstairs going, ooh, Christ, I must be terrible. And the clarinet is bad. The oboe is even worse. The oboe has 2 bits of wood to make a reed. It's like trying to blow into a weasel. That doesn't, and the tuba, you know the tuba, the huge, big brass instrument? Who the hell chooses to play a tuba? Surely that's a punishment. No one will have sex with you if you play a tuba. They can't get near you. You have a United Nations exclusion zone around you. Who wants to make that sound? It's got a huge horn. Small children hide in there. What are you doing in my tuba? I'm hiding from violin lessons. Get out of it, you small child. And the kettle drums, you know kettle drums, these big drums like this, boom, 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 really loud, but they boom, boom, they stop them. Boom, boom, boom. They stop them as if they don't want people to know they're playing the drums. Boom. Very loud, yes. No, I just run this cafe here. And I was in a school band, and there were about 12 kids playing the clarinet. I must have been stolen from someone. There was just a lot of clarinet kids, right, in this band. And there were the first clarinet, and they played the melody of the song. And then there were about 5 of those. Then there were 5 people playing second clarinet. They would play harmonies that back up the melody. And then there were the third clarinetist, which was me, and we played the notes that were left over. Just odd notes. It was boring. The only exciting thing was blowing it really loud. And the teacher's going, no, piano. I'm going, it's not a piano, it's a clarinet. And all together we made this hellish, weasel, weasel. Boom, 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 boom. Teacher's going, this is awful. I'll get their parents to come and listen to this. Then maybe the parents will kill the children. And the parents have no objectivity at all, though. Parents have encouraged this. They just come and go, hello. And where they go, oh, they're going to kill us. The teacher gets up, the school band will now murder another song. This song is called, O Come All Ye Faithful. Go! Weasel! Boom, 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 boom. Parents going, this is awful. We have spawned the devil. Let's go and buy some hammers. And I did a bit of Latin, the language of Latin at school, which is a dead language. It's pointless, it's a dead language. No one speaks it anymore. All I remember is amo, amar, samat, amamas, amatas, amant. It means I love, you love, he loves, we love, you love, they love. And it's useless. No, it does come in handy occasionally. Sometimes you're queuing at a petrol station at 3 a.m. in the morning, and there's a load of murderers behind you. And to throw them, you go, amo, amar, samat, amamas, amatas, amant. And they go, fuck, he knows Latin! A dead language. Get on that warship there. That'll be good. Submarine. Yeah. It was, seeing as it's a dead language, there must have been a point where it was a nearly dead language, where one person was alive in the whole world, speaking Latin, going around pugnato sum, abit, judex, judecem. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm the last person speaking Latin in the world. Bang! A dead language now. Yeah, so I learned it on tapes, and it was, they had these tapes recorders that came in when I was at school, and you listen, and they did French. Où est la plume de ma tante? Where is the pen of my aunt? Very useful for conversations. Où est la plume de ma tante? You go, la plume de ma tante est près de la chaise de ma tante. As well you know. The pen of my aunt is near the chair of my aunt. And the tape go, oui, la plume de ma tante est près de la chaise de ma tante. And I'd go, how does this tape know what I'm talking about? La plume de ma tante, où est la plume de mon oncle? Where's my uncle's pen? And I'd test it and go, la plume de mon oncle est bingy, bongy, dingy, dangy. They would go, no. Ça n'est pas vrai. Vous êtes un putain. I am a prostitute? Non, vous êtes un putain. Oh, man. A fight with a tape recorder. And I did it in German. Wo ist das Kind, mein Herr? Das Kind is in dem Flughafen. The child is in the airport. Yes, fun conversations like that. But I did an exchange trip to France, actually. I went over to France, and the whole of France came to my house. And I got there, and there was no one in France. And I walked around going, il y a quelqu'un? Il y a quelqu'un? And all I found was a small white dog. Ah, Snowy, vous êtes ici? Où est Tintin? Où est Tintin? Oh, il est disparu. Thank you. Yeah. And I went to a place called Chalon-sur-Marne, which is in the northeast of France. If you ever go there, it's a kind of place, you know. I was shown around a glue factory while I was there. You know, you get, so this is the museum, this is the theatre, this is the glue factory. But you're a kid, you go, oui, monsieur, c'est très bien. This is the glue, oui, c'est très bien. We ended up in a room, and they told us how they make glue. You know, which is fascinating in any language. Okay. This is how we make the glue. First of all, sit down, kids. Okay, here we make the glue. First of all, we have a horse, no glue at all. Un cheval, pas de glue. Then we have a horse, no glue. Then we have no horse at all, and lots of glue. Bad time for the horse, yeah. C'est la guerre. And then I did these, and they do these tapes so that you can get an accent. Oui, monsieur, c'est très bien. Jawohl, mein Herr. Things like this. They also did it in Latin so that you could get a good Latin accent, which was bullshit, because everyone was dead. They had no idea how Roman people actually spoke. Romans could have gone, hello, we're the Romans. Or they could have gone, hello, we're the Romans. We're the Romans. You know, they didn't know. So they estimated an accent. They made up an accent, which was kind of a classical, I wear a bed sheet, I carry a lot of water type accent. And it was, Puelas in Cana. Puelas, very floaty. Salve Puella, Puelas in Cana. And the Romans, I don't think they spoke like that. They were aggressive people. They had the short sword. They attacked everywhere. Give us your land, they said. And I don't think they went into France, into Gaul, going, hello. Are you the people of Gaul? Wonderful. Well, we are the Romans. This is the fifth legion. And are you Chief Vercingetorix? I recognize you from the Asterix books. Yes. This is our leader, Mr. Dog. Salve, salve. Centurion, can I have a word with you? Yes, I am called Mr. Dog at the moment, but I'm thinking of changing my name, actually, to Caesar. I think it could work better. And Roman history is fascinating. Romans, when people died in Roman times, they would have professional mourners, professional people to come and cry, which is crazy. People going, my husband is dead, it's a tragedy, but there's not enough grief. Not enough grief in this house, not enough crying. Slave, get on down to Mourners Are Us, will you? Tell them I want more grief. I've become a very smooth guy, hair slicked back. Good afternoon, my name is Marcellus. I am from Mourners Are Us. Oh dear. Just a small free sample for you there. My husband is dead. Yes, well, we have a brochure of grief here. I'd like to look through the brochure of grief. Here we have the cheap grief, economy grief, a very small amount of money, 10 denarii, and that's just, oh. Grief on the note of your choice. Okay, that is mid-range grief, which is slightly, oh, surely not. Slightly more confusion there. And a full range, fucking hell! He owed me a tenner. And we have the cheap funeral. Cheap funeral, we will drag your husband along and chuck him in a ditch, if you didn't like him. And the most expensive funeral, all four of us will carry your husband along, gently lower him into the ground on straps, and then we'll twang him into a tree. This bit isn't accurate, by the way. I just made up the twanging into a tree. But in the West, we are kind of morbid about death, aren't we? We go, he's dead, let's put him in the ground, put earth upon the top, oh no. I mean, at least Viking funerals are better. That was out and there was fire and fucking hell. In Britain, it's put him in the ground. Twang him into a tree, I say. Wouldn't you rather die and be twung into a tree? It's fun, you know. People say, bring him back, let's have another go. Let's try for that tree over there. Double funerals. Funerals with fireworks. Don't leave your body to medical science, leave it to kids to play with. I've got his lungs. I can hear the sea. Give me that leg. I've got his small intestine. Come on, pull. It's more fun. Yes, also, in Roman times, there's a guy called Pliny the Younger, the son of Pliny the Elder, who did nothing, but was quite old. He was 64! I'm 64, he used to say. Pliny the Younger, he wrote letters. He's famous for this. He was at Mount Vesuvius in Italy when it erupted back in AD 79 or something. And he said, right, I am here, Mount Vesuvius is erupting, lava and smoke of fucking hell! The top's come off the mountain! Get me out of here! Please phone up Mr. Dog. Tell him to send lots of ships and get me there. And also St. Paul. St. Paul wrote letters. St. Paul in the Bible. St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians. Chapter 2, verses 1 to 17. Dear Corinthians, How are you? Are you well? The weather here is lovely. What was he writing about to these people? Anyway, I'm St. Paul. I'm a saint, by the way, so don't listen to me. Don't do bad things, only do good things. Never put your tongue in a toaster. Never have a pee on an electric fire. Anyway, I can't think of anything else. And I'm going to have a Mars bar now. Love from Paul, brackets, saint, close brackets. The Corinthians must have got a bit pissed off, don't you think? With a postman saying, another letter for the Corinthians. Who is St. Paul? I don't want it, I'm just a Corinthian. I'm not the Corinthians. Come on. Whose idea was it to be a pen pal with St. Paul, eh? Come on, we're going to write a group letter back to St. Paul. The Corinthians letter back to St. Paul. Dear St. Paul, who are you? We've never met you. Stop writing us bloody letters. On and on, don't do this. Who are you? How dare you write to an entire city? Apart from that, love and kisses the Corinthians. And the Carthaginians, the Carthaginians were the Moorish people from down south. And they came and they attacked Rome over the Alps on elephants. And the Romans were never expecting that. Because the Romans were all Americans, of course, as we know from the films. The Romans there going, so, esophagus, come, talk to Cacophonus here, and Tibia and Fibia, come, bring duodenum and ulcerius and thorax. They all had American accents, and a bloke would run in and say, sire, sire, it's the Carthaginians, they're attacking. Yeah, we knew they'd do that. But they're coming over the Alps, sir, coming over the Alps. Yeah, we knew they'd do that. But they're coming on elephants, sir, dirty, great elephants. What's an elephant? Well, it's like a big upside-down squirrel, sir. Because Hannibal was the leader of the Carthaginians. Hannibal and his brother Hasdrubal and Havabal and Havabanana. They were the Hack family. And they stayed in Europe and married into the Habsburg family. And so started the Austro-Hungarian Empire. As the Hack family married the Habsburg. Forget it. Yeah, and Hannibal wasn't going to go on elephants over the Alps because they're mountains. He was going to go on skis, of course. That was the idea, but he went down and he went to the shop and said, hi, I'm Hannibal. I'm going to attack the Romans over the Alps. Skis for all my men. The guy said, oh, we're fresh out, skis. Just sold the last to King Gustav. He designed his own. They were 9 miles long. Oh, bum, said Hannibal. Got no skis at all? No skis at all. Well, what you got? We got some elephants. Can they ski? Oh, yeah, they're tops of skiing. If you've never seen an elephant ski, then you've never been on acid. Elephants were much thinner in those days. Elephants were much more much more live. Snowplow. Okay, here we go. That's how elephants were in those days. Skiing off the roofs. You know, in skiing films, someone's always going off the roof of something. And what about the people who live in those houses? They're going, yes, I know what you mean, Mrs. Bad Crumble. Yes, well, hold on. Stop skiing off my roof. I live here, you know. Bloody elephants. Sorry about that. So Hannibal back in the shop said, right, elephants from all my men. I said, great, what size shoe do you take? He says, size 40, please. And Hannibal's going, and the shopkeeper's going, right, well, I'll go and get the elephants then, guys. And I was very jealous when I was a kid. I'm a real gadget freak. You know techno-fear? Have you heard the term techno-fear? It's usually with computers. People are scared of computers. They go, no, what, I double-click? No, have I wiped that? I've wiped the whole internet? The information superhighway I've just wiped? Everything in the world. That's techno-fear, right? I have techno-joy. I have the opposite. I think I can use anything. I know how to use it. I've never seen this before. What the hell is this? I get something new. I get the instructions. Throw the instructions away. Hard work. Damn you. Oh, the on button. Oh, right, okay. James Bond had gadgets. James Bond, and he things and click and little hats and stuff. And he was always very lean with his gadgets. He'd use every single gadget on a mission. He'd never come back with a load of stuff going, Q, I've got a load of stuff I didn't even use. Look how many things I didn't fucking use. The watch that turned into a hamster, that was the hat that turned into a game of ping pong, and the jam trousers, they were fucking useless too. He always used everything. Do you remember he fell into a swimming pool, sharks were released, and then he had a breathing apparatus. Breathing apparatus there, swam away, and it was okay. Now wouldn't it, if it was you or me, we'd go, shit, I've left it in the hotel. I've got the jam trousers though. The shark's going, hold on, he's wearing jam trousers. Ooh, don't like Loganberry now. Remember the car with the ejector seat? The baddie sat in the ejector seat. Couldn't his girlfriend have sat in the ejector seat? The baddie sat in the back. You know, it was too easy, wasn't it? The baddie could have been sitting in the back going, Mr. Bond, drive the car, Mr. Bond. I am an agent of Spectre. We will see Mr. Blofeld. They always had a very strange accent as well. Mr. Blofeld, we shall go and see Mr. Blofeld now. And Sean Connery in the front going, would you like to sit up in the front? You can see the view. It's a lovely view up here. It's a very lovely seat here. Would you like to sit? Come and sit in the fucking front with me. No, Mr. Ben, I will sit in the back. Come and look, there's a view. You can see pussy galore up there. Look at those clouds. You can see Gothenburg from here. Fucking sit in the fucking front. No, Mr. Ben, I will sit in the back. Where are you from, by the way? I can't get your accent. I have a voice synthesizer placed in my throat. I can do any accent I wish to do. But I have lost the instructions of the new. Now just drive this car, Bond, will you? He says, right, he's in the front now. I'll press the... I'm in the wrong car. I'm in the Volvo. I know, I've got the breathing apparatus. What are you doing, Mr. Bean? I can breathe for 4 minutes with this and you can't. Well, I've got a window here. And finally tonight, I'm going to finish up talking about this Russian inventor. And he was called Pavlov, a guy called Pavlov. Pavlov's dog, I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's a very famous experiment that happened at school. He was 1907, Pavlov's dog, and he wrote up his experiment. Pavlov's dog, day one, because he did all this thing of ringing bells, and the dog would eat food, and he proved that dogs had ears, which no one... They didn't know what these were. They thought maybe they could fly in a previous life. So Pavlov's dog, day one rang bell, dog ate food. Very excited here in Moscow. Day two ring bell slightly louder, dog eats slightly more food. Very excited. Day three ring loads of bells and the dog eats a whole load of food and explodes. I win Nobel Dog Prize. That was great, but he never published his cat results, did he? Pavlov's cat, you never heard about it. Pavlov's cat, day one, rang bell, cat fucked off. Very disappointed. Day two, rang bell, cat went and answered door. Day three, rang bell, cat said he'd eaten earlier. Day four, went to ring bell, but cat had stolen batteries from the bell. Bastard. Final day, day five, went to ring bell with new batteries, but cat put his paw on the bell, so it only made a thunk noise. Then Cat rang his own bell. I ate food. That's all. Thank you very much. You've been great. So the next day, what a killer encore line, I tell you. I just want to say it is utterly brilliant that you laugh at anything. From my point of view, I mean, I play in Iceland and Holland and Paris, and I try to do that in French and English as well, but I don't have the Swedish. But the fact that you can laugh at any of the stuff is off the scale brilliant. So thank you very much for just you know, I don't know, just going with it, because it's fucking amazing. From my point of view, it is fucking amazing. Which is big thumbs up to you guys. I'll just finish up with a short bit. It doesn't take very long. It's all about the beginning of time. Short. Okay, it starts there. The whole of the, okay. Beginning of time, the Big Bang, yeah? At the Big Bang, everyone stood well back. Come on. What? Oh, further back, all right. Well, how big a bang? Everyone was there. Oh, hello, Caesar. Hello, Mrs. Barcode. How you doing? And then some people started going back. No, don't go back. Never go back to something once it's been lit. And the whole of the universe exploded and went a different. And then the Earth cooled, and we got sea, and we got plants, and then we got democracy, shopping system, and all the rest of the universe cooled down and was just rock apparently, and no living life was on it at all. You know, I mean, I think there's got to be something out there. At least one microbe going, well, I'm here. I'm here. Come on. Come on, I'm a microbe. Microbes are great because you can't step on them, can you? Come on. Still here. Anyway, the Earth cooled, all the animals were there, and one day Mother Nature revealed herself and said, I am Mother Nature. I am Mother Nature. And animals of the world, I must give you your methods of procreation. How you will have sex so that you can have lots of more animals. Come and form a queue, come on. Come on, no pushing in at the back. What are you, Dutch people, Icelandic? Form a queue, like the Swedish and the British people. And she had a big flip chart here, big chart. So right with the first, dogs. You're the first. Okay, how you doing? Dogs go, woof, woof. Okay. I'll take that as a good sign. Dogs, your method of procreation, how you will procreate is have sex, you will do it doggy fashion. Okay, doggy fashion, okay? Dogs go, woof, woof, yes, we invented it. I know you did, brilliant. Off you go. Woo, woo, woo. Next, cats. How you doing, cats? Now, cats, your method of procreation will be doggy fashion. How about... What about catty fashion? Dogs have got in there, it's a registered trademark. Anyway, you've got cat flaps on doors, haven't you? Come on, get out of it. Next, sheep. Hi, how you doing, sheep? Okay, now we've got you down for doggy fashion. Okay, if you get hot, just take your coat off. Or get someone to unzip it or whatever. Okay. Giraffes. Good to see you, giraffes. Now, we've got you down for doggy fashion, but it's whatever you can work out. Hang out of trees, lean up against a lamppost. I'm sorry about your shape, but when I was designing you, someone brought me a coffee, and I just... and we thought it looked rather fun. So... all right, keep your chin up, anyway. Human beings. Now, human beings, doggy fashion, catty fashion, giraffe fashion, sheep, anything you want, basically. On a golf course, on a big warship that's going underwater. As long as you get guilt in there somewhere, we're okay. Right. Now, finally, Salmon. Hi, Salmon. Got a bit of a surprise for you. Salmon. What you've got to do is to swim upstream against a down-flowing river until you come to a huge waterfall. Then you've got to leap and leap and leap and leap. And then you swim. Hold on, we're quite happy with doggy fashion. No, not for you guys. You swim along, and then you leap at the water, and then you swim along, and then you get to a shallow bit, you lay eggs, you fertilize the eggs, and then you die. What the hell did we do? Oh, you're too expensive in restaurants, that's your thing. That's all for me, thank you very much.